All right, good evening everyone. I wanted to do something a little different today. I've talked about Commander and EDH and a good number of my videos so far. I'm looking to enhance my Captian Sisay deck, so I'm gonna have her out here on the side just for show. I have some cards here that I got through TCG that arrived. Well, actually, I don't know when they exactly arrived, but I pulled them from the mailbox today. So let's see what we have. I do have one card that's not going in here. It's just because I saw that it was a good deal. It's a Foil Blood Artist. All right. Let's take a look at what's in this one. Wonder why I have a swamp there. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing a opening of pre-release packs. Oh, there's the Foil Blood Artist. It's very nice. I like it. So let me actually get this out of the way here. I have some sleeves. Actually, no, I'm gonna set that. So I'll be doing the pre-release packs from the recent Ravnica Allegiance release. So let's put that back there. And I think I'll be doing that here tomorrow morning, actually. And posting that later in the day. I've got some stuff to attend to. So yes, Reese the Redeemed. And I think as I continue opening some of these packages, you'll see, I think a lot of this is gonna come together for you. Wow, this is really, geez. In this card, I could totally see this card being reprinted too. Wow, I can't. This is like double taped. There we go. There we go. And finally, all right. Oh gosh, I'm not gonna damage it, am I? Whew, no, good, okay. So weird how they put that in there. Reese the Redeemed, and real quick, I didn't even think about this. I was under the assumption here that everyone would know the card, but Captain Sisay, it's a 2 colorless, 1 green, 1 white for a 2/2 human soldier, legendary creature, obviously. So this is gonna be my commander, and basically you tap it and you search your library for a legendary card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Shuffle your library. So it's a tutor on a stick, a true tutor on a stick here. For anything legendary, lands, enchantments, creatures, legendary spells, which is a bit newer, but I don't have any of those in here. And really, I mean, getting this out, I'd ideally like to get this out turn 2, and turn 3 start to put together a plan of attack, or a plan of stacks in some form or fashion to slow down my opponent depending on what they're playing. So there's that. And then Reese the Redeemed, you can 2 and a green or white and tap it and put a 1/1 green white elf warrior token in play. Or you can tap 4 colors, 2 color, or green or white, and it. And for each creature token I control, put a token into play that's a copy of that creature. So. And it's a 1 to cast, and why this is not my commander is I'm not really big on tokens personally, but I would like to be able to search that for another reason as I continue opening this. And actually, this is part, hopefully the puzzle pieces start coming together here for some of you. Aether Flux Reservoir. That wasn't sent. Oh, I've still got tape on my fingernail. That wasn't really, that could have bent or gotten damaged. Luckily it didn't. So it's a pretty cheap card. I think I spent a few bucks on it. $2, lightly played, look at that. So $2, whenever you cast a spell, you gain 1 life for each spell you've cast this turn. Pay 50 life, hit someone in the face for 50. So put that there. All right, now for the TCG Direct cards. Come on. Okay. All right. So, and I don't know how many of these I'll be putting in here just yet, but there are a couple or a few that I know I will be putting in here for sure. This is not one of them. Whenever another elf enters the battlefield in your control, put a +1/+1 counter, and you can tap it to add green mana equal to its power to your pool. Legendary creature, so I'll be able to tutor for it for mana ramp, and it goes well with Reese the Redeemed, so that kind of makes sense. Man, my hand is all sticky from the tape. All right. Now I did get one of these just in case. Now this is something that I was just talking about right now. It's a spell, legendary spell, so I can tutor for it. Exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. So obviously this is mostly going to be in my favor, to where it's, you know, a board wipe where it doesn't really affect me. 1 card combo kind of thing. It's not really a combo, but it's just really beneficial for me. And I've got this legendary artifact, Gonti's Aetherheart. So whenever this or another artifact enters the battlefield under my control, I get 2 energy. I pay, what is that? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Pay 8 and exile this and take an extra turn after this one. So there's that. Another legendary creature, Sram. What is that? There we go. Sram, whenever you cast an aura, equipment, or vehicle spell, draw a card. Right? And one of the most popular mono green commanders, Yisan. So he also tutors. So you tap 2 colorless and a forest and it. You put a verse counter on it, search your library for a creature card with converted mana cost equal to the number of verse counters on Yisan, you put it onto the battlefield. Now the difference between obviously Captian Sisay and this, the biggest difference in their abilities is not necessarily the mana cost, but the ability in which this actually goes straight on the battlefield while that goes in your hand. So 2 different things to think of there. ETBs versus cast spells. And this is mostly just for tutoring for land. So I'm going to be trying to get as many cards to complete complete the puzzle for what I'm facing against. So I'm trying to make this a bit more strategic in my approach. Before it wasn't a bad deck. It's just right now I'd like to be a bit more strategic and try to think a little bit more. And anyhow, so what this does, it's a 1-drop for a 1/1. You tap a plains and it, and you search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand. Shuffle your library, play this ability only if an opponent controls more lands than you. So being in green and white, I don't know how often I'll come across that, but there definitely are some decks out there that ramp and put a ton of lands out. In this one, so I think this is actually on the reserve list. I almost wanted to pick up a few more just to have them in near mint, but they were kind of expensive. But it looks kind of funny, mainly looking at the power and toughness. But so add 1 green mana to your mana pool for each forest you control. So it's a 2 green, and not necessarily looking as a turn 2 play, but later in the game this will have a bigger impact. Also, it's an elf that plays along with this one, Marwyn. Akroma's Memorial, another legendary card. Not sure if you're familiar with this. I thought I owned one, and I might. I just don't know where the heck it is. So I got tired of looking, so I got another one. Creatures you control have flying, first strike, vigilance, trample, haste, protection from black and red. This is huge. So I can tutor for this and protect all of my creatures, red and black, give them haste, flying, and trample. Now this is going to come together after you see a little bit more of the deck, and then Selvala. So you tap it, each player reveals the top card of his or her library. For each non-land card revealed this way, I add a green to my pool. I gain 1 life, then each player draws a card. So a lot of tapping, a lot of getting mana, and a lot of drawing here is what I'm trying to do. Card draw / tutor on a stick, but the more the merrier. And then there's this one. So I don't know if I will be playing this or not, but it has flash. Man, this one's really beat up. I might have to get another one. I don't know if I bought this in heavy or not. This one's pretty bashed. Anyhow, so tapped creatures I control may block as though they were untapped. So this is one of those cards that I really like because I'm big in trying to follow all the steps and the rules, and it's hard to keep track of, but things like this, that cards overrule the rules of the game. And cards like this, this is the only card like itself, where if you attack and, you know, they take it, they don't want to block it, because they're worried about some type of trick up your sleeve, or they don't want to lose or trade at the time, you can still block with your tap creatures. So even if I would want to search for this during my turn for whatever reason to play a sorcery card, in the event that they still have a creature coming, I will still be able to block with this in play. So that's huge. And so I don't know how many of these I'll be playing and what I'll be taking out, but what I can do for everyone, and again, this is a bit of a different video, but this is more for all my Commander EDH players or anyone who's really interested. Let's see if I have lots of decks. So, Beast Within for removal, Celestia's Charm, Mana Crypt. This is a big key in getting Captain Sisay out in turn 2. Pretty easy. Immortal Sun. So these are one of the cards that I have in the deck. Oh, I didn't realize it was so far out of the video here. So at the beginning of my draw step, I draw an additional card. The biggest thing is players can't activate Planeswalker loyalty abilities. I have 1 Planeswalker in here that I don't really need, but right now it's, I mean, why not? It's Karn, Liberated. I may end up taking him out to put in something out here. And spells I cast cost 1 less to cast. So every time I tutor for this, I think you get the picture. Creatures I control get +1/+1. Being that a lot of these other ones that are out there, this one, I mean, I'm trying to get as much fluidness as possible here. Removal, Mox Opal, some other Ancient Tomb, which is definitely pretty helpful to get out turn 3. Kadama's Reach, definitely a turn 3 if I have, now this will definitely stop a lot of decks. Linvala, great card. A Stone Hero Giant if I'm going for Tron, if I want to end up playing Sigarda as my commander instead. Another one I've mentioned in a couple of my videos, Avacyn's Pilgrim, love this card, love the art, had to put it in here. Cavern of Souls, Aura Shards, that's great. I'll have creatures coming out a lot. It's definitely a creature-based deck. Safi, Odric, so this is huge. If one of my creatures have any of these abilities listed at the beginning of each of my combat, all of my creatures gain it. So it's listed First Strike, Flying, Death Touch, Double Strike, Haste, Hexproof, Indestructible, Lifelink. So I have a lot of creatures that have a lot of those abilities. I'm probably gonna take Expedition Map out. Defense of the Heart. So for a lot of those token decks, what I would do is I play this for a lot of those token decks or any decks that want to get as many creatures out as fast as possible. This deck isn't necessarily that as much as it seems it. But if they do play a lot of creatures, especially if they're playing Prosh and they're not taking me out that same turn, I'll be able to go out and I'll have an answer for things. A lot of my answers are listed in here. Removal, Avacyn's, Aven Mind Sensors in here if they're trying to tutor for their answers or whatnot. Green Warden, Mox Amber, another legendary card. Iona, which I may take out. And this is good. Natural order, sack a green creature, go get any green creature, put it into play. Mother Runes for protection. There's Karn Liberated. Gaddock Teague. This is huge against Planeswalker, Super Friends decks. Shahali. This is good for protecting all of my other creatures and protecting Captain Sisay mostly. I'm probably going to take this out now and put one of these in. This doesn't see as much play as I thought it would, but then again, I can't tutor for it. Now, this is the biggest piece. Now, if I can resolve one of these and stick around for another turn, I can't say that it's automatic win because I don't have any type of loops that do that yet. I suppose I could come up with something as I keep playing the deck, but unless it's something like a Chroma's Memorial, maybe another big stompy creature I can fetch for with Captain Sisay, but every time I cast a spell, untap all non-land permanents I control. So essentially I'd be floating mana with my mana rocks, my mana dorks, and then cast, let's say I'll search for Reese, float 10 mana, and cast that, untap all my rocks. And then including, you know, Captain Sisay. I tap Captain Sisay to go fetch for another spell, float mana, cast a spell, and so on and so on. Stoneforge Mystic, the Jite, Umezawa's Jite, great card that's definitely won me some games alone, surprisingly. Great powerful card. And then what else do I have here? Genesis for card recursion. Same thing with Sun Titan, board ripe removal, and you know, whenever it helps me out. Horizon Canopy, reflecting. This also helps too. Every time I cast a legendary spell, draw a card. So Captain Sisay, cast a spell, draw a card. So a lot of card draw there. Brimaz, I'll probably end up taking him out. Elish Norn, this is the type of deck. This card is the type of card that stops like Prosh, combos, stops me from casting Captain Sisay, stops Animar, stops Kalia, a lot of stuff like that, unless they have answers for it. Karma Guard, card recursion / reanimation, card removal, protection. More of like, not stacks, but slowing them down. Not completely countering their spells. But yeah, I wanted to share that with everyone. You know, let me know what you think. I'm not too sure what I'll be taking out and what I'll be putting in, but I am going to be staying up for the next few hours, test playing it as much as I can, just me running through a few hands, you know, going from there. So I appreciate everyone taking a look at the video. This was a little bit longer than I thought, but anyhow, thanks for watching. And again, I'll be posting another video tomorrow. More than likely, 99% sure tomorrow. All right, guys. Thank you. Good night.